I'll say, has Vengeance even been picked yet as a first?
Yes. Ronnie and I played that. Alright, jumping in here, though. We've got Mystery Liquid and Mageius both coming out of the gate. Mystery Liquid jumping out to a very substantial early lead and holding a pretty tricky boost there.
Very nice.
Oh, just syncing them up a little bit. Very even now. And yeah, he knows the boost timings on this track. Oh, Mageius with the unfortunate death there, and Mystery Liquid dying to the ground. That's one of several spots in this game that can just do that.
Yep, gotta tilt.
He was tilting.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't look like it. No, I was paying attention.
I believe he was tilting. Mystery Liquid not going for the tricky boost on that. So, a little bit of a fun fact. Mageius has used a different controller scheme every match.
That's entertaining. I forget what his first match was, but I do know his last match was using a Switch Pro controller.
Yes. And this match is with a SNES controller.
How he got that to work, I have no idea, but...
I don't know, but I have a huge amount of respect to him for just going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. But Mystery Liquid has a very substantial lead here right now. Mageius hasn't had the time to practice, and he hasn't been able to settle onto a solid controller setup. So there really is no shame to his performance right now. However, he did give us explicit permission to make fun of him for using a SNES controller, and you better believe I'm going to do that. But also, Mystery Liquid has had some characteristic but unfortunate deaths. He hasn't quite memorized a lot of the spots where the game just kills you.
For what he does know, though, he's doing pretty good.
Boss Fighter, you take that back. Racer Revenge doesn't exist.
I've never heard of that game before.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Racer Revenge isn't real. It can't hurt you. All right, and this will be a sub 3 from Mystery Liquid.
Very good.
Not half bad. That was a 53-second lap for lap 3.
Nice.
All right, that is very respectable. And Mageius, he'll get through it. He's getting used to a new control scheme. He's also on a very difficult... He's on a not very difficult, but much slower character for this track. Ben is the fastest option on all but 2 courses. Oh. He had the right idea, trying to go slalom through the gates. It's also slower in almost every scenario in the game to take a ramp when you can just go around it.
Mm-hmm. Because with a ramp, you're just gonna bonk when you land and lose your boost if you're holding one.
Yep. You also are continuously decelerated while you're in the air. Ooh, that was... Okay, Mageius, don't... I was about to say he was looking better at the end.
It's figure 8, man. It'll get you.
How often does that kill our amateur circuit runs?
More often than it should.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're on to our track ban phase. I have no idea what either player is going to ban.
Me neither. My guess would be some stuff from the Galactic Circuit.
I do know Mystery Liquid actually likes Grabvine Gateway.
Yeah.
So he does... I don't believe he'll ban that, because he's actually... I was telling him earlier, he just has a weird instinctive grasp of the track. And I really don't understand it.
Yeah.
I know more about where he'll take us than where he'll ban. Because I know what courses he likes. I'm not huge on what courses he doesn't like. And Mageius, who the hell knows? Like, it seemed in the past as if he might just be pulling tracks out of a hat.
Yeah, just seeing what sticks.
Yeah, because I mean, I think he's taken us to 13 different tracks out of his, or not 13 different tracks, but at least 10 different tracks out of his 15 counter picks he's gotten.
Nice.
Or 12 counter picks, because one of them has been the first track. But he's gone to many different tracks. We're just waiting on Mageius' first ban to come through. I do think you're probably right on banning Galactic Circuit and later. I could reasonably see a couple of the more technical tracks in the semi-pro circuit, something like Doug Derby being taken off the table.
Yeah, it might be short, but it is a bit tricky.
Yeah, I mean, it has specifically the one really hard turn with that chicane.
Yeah.
But that thing is brutal, even at the best of times. Makes me really wonder how the hell people do that track with Ben.
It's way too much practice.
Yeah. I mean, I've told Ace he plays this game an unhealthy amount.
Yeah. I mean, it shows, though. He's
Oh, yeah.
really good at the game.
Yeah. For any newer viewers, Ace is the undisputed best active player right now.
Yeah, if you look on the challenge at the moment, I believe he's on top.
Yes, he has dropped a total of 4 tracks over the course of the entire tournament.
Yeah, which is still a good track record.
Yeah, he is 16-4, I believe. Or no, not 16-4. He's 20-4. There's nothing wrong with the SNES controller on paper.
It is, though, that you have a D-pad for your controls, so you don't have... You're either 100% left or you're not.
Mm-hmm. Most of our top-end players do use keyboard. There are a few who do use controller. I know Nacho uses one.
Yep.
What do you use, GameCube?
Yeah, I use GameCube.
Alright. I have never played this game on a controller. That'll change at SGDQ, but... oh god, it's gonna be with an N64 controller.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Can't wait.
It looks like Mageius might be opting to not use any global bans.
Okay.
I
Interesting
mean,
choice.
hey. Yep, and now Mageius can ban a pod. So the loser of the previous track bans one pod, then the winner of the previous track bans one track, and then the loser picks the next track. Now the last thing is, where is Mageius going to take us?
I guess Mystery Liquid doesn't want to do a temp ban as well, huh?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Yeah, Karuf, this game is just so fiddly, and you have to do so many rapid switchbacks. Playing with the keyboard does wind up being optimal in a lot of cases. Oh, Mageius is taking us to Grabvine.
Right out the gate.
All right. I respect it. It's Do we want to set an over/under on deaths for this?
We could.
I'll bet you a beer at SUDQ.
I'll think about that one.
All right. But no, this track, in all seriousness, this track is arguably the hardest in the game.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
on a Mystery Liquid screen, you can see Aldarbedo looking to shank Bullseye.
I think that's a PC only thing, right?
Yeah, it's a PC bug.
Okay.
Mystery Liquid, you are not playing Ben on this track.
And I think he realized that very quickly.
Yeah. I never really had too many problems with Grabvine and Abyss as a kid, Ronnie. The one that got me was Boonta Classic.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going double Bullseye. Players have given the ready. And they've been given the countdown. Also, Mystery Liquid's playing the track backwards.
Hey, look, we're in the fire suddenly.
Yeah. Actually. I actually kind of prefer Fire Mountain Rally. It's just an easier track for me.
I do too.
Alright, but now we are off. Now, Mystery Liquid was getting through this track with maybe 3 or 4 deaths in practice.
That's pretty good.
Yep. And Mageius actually has the lead right now off a very early death from Mystery Liquid.
Let's see how long he can hold this.
He's looking a lot more in control than he was. Still a lot of random swerving, mostly saved by the course being pretty wide there. He's not dying.
Didn't die.
For Mystery Liquid. Also, Mageius, I think, forgot to bind his repair key when he set up the SNES binding.
Uh-oh.
Because he didn't repair once he was ready. Oh, and that's a second death for Mageius.
Alright, Mr. Liquid's first out of there.
Yep, that is a substantial lead for him, and this is the part of the track he's a little bit stronger on, if I remember right. He did learn the swamp today, really.
That's good.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time prepping it. That was just a very rough early segment.
Yeah, so he'll have a little bit of an advantage then.
Yep, let's see how he does through the swamp. This is one of the hardest segments in the game.
Yeah, your break is your friend here.
Oh, 1. Also, it appears to me that both players are playing on 60 FPS.
It does appear that way, yes.
Which, not ideal.
No, you want that slide power.
It's not actually for the sliding.
No?
Yeah, it helps, but the biggest draw of 30 FPS on this track is the increased durability.
Ah, yep, that makes sense.
Because we're already on to 8 total deaths.
That was another synchronized crash, too.
Yep. I'm going to be keeping track of all the deaths. 9. I think we're at 9.
I honestly haven't been keeping count.
Okay, but that was not exactly a clean lap from either of them. Mr. Liquid is off to a much better start on this lap than he was lap 1. Let's see if he does the corner cut here, and he does, and it's clean. Opting not to take the shortcut. Mageius died for the 10th total of the track. Mystery Liquid adds the 11th.
Alright, so from those first lap times, they are 32 seconds apart.
Whew.
Because Mr. Liquid had an even 2-minute split.
Yep. I believe his lap record is somewhere in the 140s. And getting Mystery Liquid getting something in the getting a decently long boost there. Mageius. Nope, he did bind repair. Okay.
Oh.
I was worried about him.
That's good.
Oh, death number 12, I want to say. I might be 1 or 2 short. And Mystery Liquid... Well... He didn't die. He did not die to the swamp. That is very impressive for this. And then he dies immediately coming onto the bridge for 13. Mageius adding 14.
Ooh, man. Battle to death.
This is very entertaining for me. Now, a little bit on the statistics side. Mystery Liquid averages the 3rd highest deaths per minute in the tournament.
Second?
3rd.
3rd?
He has the 3rd highest deaths per minute in the tournament. I believe. I'm checking now. Where is he? With 1.37 deaths per minute.
Right.
Mageius is currently first with 3.76 deaths per minute. To answer a question in chat, a bye simply means that under the system we used, a bye simply means that round you get credited with a 5-0 win over your opponent.
Yep.
There are more effective ways to do it, but since the Swiss is relatively low stakes and only for seeding in the double elim phase, we decided to just go with this. Now, since I had to tab out to check those stats, I lost track of deaths. However, I think they're both comfortably adding to their total.
Yeah, you can comfortably say that.
Yeah.
Ooh, Mageius was getting really good at this section. Nice.
Yeah. He spent a lot of time on it. He still slows down more than he strictly has to, but that is still very preferable to dying.
Died in the same spot he did the second lap.
Yep. His biggest weakness right now is his sliding. He just doesn't use it enough. And when he does, he usually starts the slides a little bit late. Which leads to some obvious understeering issues.
Yeah, you definitely want to start him a little bit earlier than you think you should.
Yep, however, that is a 543 grab bind. That's alright. Yeah, Challenge does do some very odd things with Swiss. It's functional enough for what we're doing with it. Mageius is also opting to take the low path there. That is, I believe, slower.
Slower and harder.
Yes. But let's see how he does through the swamp. His jumping around on different controllers is really showing.
Yeah, because I think before he had somewhat tighter control.
Yeah.
But this time he has either no steering or 100% steering, so...
Yeah, I mean... I was concerned about the D-pad when he mentioned it earlier. Just because... Yeah. Not because of that so much, because, I mean, analog... or digital steering is what we use on keyboard.
Right.
The challenge is, on a keyboard, you've got 3 fingers on your arrow keys. On a SNES controller, you've got your thumb.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you a lot less flexibility on what you can be doing at any given time on steering. Maybe you need to repair that engine. Alright, hey, he's within 2 minutes.
Not bad.
But as I said earlier, Mystery Liquid has an argument for most improved.
Like, yeah, he's showcasing that pretty good.
Yeah. Both he and Herald have improved by leaps and bounds. And he can repair. He can repair. He did bind that. He just didn't do it on a couple of spots. Fire Mountain Rally has been banned. Mystery Liquid does not want more Barunda.
After that, I don't blame him.
Yeah. So, where to now? Zaga Challenge.
No, it's Zaga challenge.
I'm just going to confirm that in chat really quick.
I'm pretty sure it's what he meant. There's no other track that starts with Z.
I mean, he could have meant to say Mongaza Challenge or Mongaza Speedway.
Yeah, you got a good point.
That is a pretty I would be entirely down for a chat vote on each track and each pod show match. Raichu? That could be really fun. They would also just completely torture us and make us play Dud Bolt or Juan Sandedge on the invitational tracks.
Nah. Yeah. Right,
also,
so
I'm waiting for someone to ban either Sai Yunga or Jin Riso.
I feel like some of our contestants don't know they exist.
Yes, those are the two alternate skin pods. Jin Riso replaces Mars, and Sai Yunga replaces Bullseye. The stats are identical, they just look a little different. And Mystery Liquid opting into Mahonic with Ben available. I did, but then Ace just said, okay, we're doing it as banning Bullseye. I believe the hitboxes are the same.
Okay. So
but don't hold me to that, I'm no expert. That's a slide!
That is a slide.
Where's Andy? His pod got picked!
Andy, quick!
I mean, he's in Switzerland. It's early morning. He might not be. He's not around.
Fair enough.
We were talking about other things, Ronnie.
Oh, let's think Mystery Liquid did.
Okay.
Switch to Ben.
Fair. I actually, I love seeing Slide. He's not a good pod, but I love seeing him.
Yeah, I think Mageius was practicing with Slide before Bullseye and said he actually had an easier time with Slide.
That's completely fair, honestly. Being slower on that controller.
Yeah. And I think Slide is a little bit more durable, too.
Very slightly. Bullseye is the most fragile pod in the game, though.
Right.
So even with a death there, Mystery Liquid has claimed is starting to is a little hard to beat.
Yeah, this gigantic boost is like uncompetable.
Yes. Slide, as I've said before though, has some very fun boost routing you can do if you're trying to optimize him.
Really?
He has the highest heat rate and the highest cool rate.
Huh. Interesting.
So since he has really good handling, you can have a lot of boost uptime that other pods can't have.
Okay.
And not being able to hold a long boost doesn't matter as much. Just because he can get so many more short boosts than other pods. And Mageius, I think, forgot that hairpin existed. The difference between Slide and... are you asking about the difference between Slide and Bullseye, or Slide and Ben? Because the answer is that Slide is basically Bullseye, but worse at everything.
except cooling.
Yes. He's the only pod in the game that hits the cooling cap. But he has a very weak boost that he can use a lot, and his handling is workable. Ben Quadraneros, that Mystery Liquid is playing, has the fastest boost in the game, fair to middling handling, decent acceleration, and, again, pretty middle of the table cooling with upgrades. But what you get out of him is raw, unfiltered top speed.
Especially on a track like Zaga.
Yeah. If you know your boost timings on Zaga, you can get some massive advantages over everyone else. Ronnie, that's your own fault. Congrats on beating Mike. Congrats on beating Mike, though. Alright, and Mageius is just coming up to that switchback section. So this is a massive lead for Mystery Liquid. It's really hard to tell what's coming up, considering this track specifically recycles a lot of terrain. And Mystery Liquid catching the lip of the excavator. That excavator is on one of the roughest time-based cycles I've seen in a racing game.
Mm-hmm.
It sits at the top of that hill for I think 12 seconds.
Jeez.
Like a quarter of its cycle is just sitting at the top of the hill.
Gotta empty out that cargo, man.
Yeah, Mystery Liquid looking pretty clean through the front portion. And then he's onto the long boost. And continuing to build this massive lead. Alright, let's see what cycle Mageius is on. He's on a very friendly one.
He's really handicapping himself right now. He's keeping himself on red on his left engine.
Yeah.
For no good reason.
Oh. And he's... Okay, now he's repairing. Okay.
Hey, he's back.
Mystery Liquid dying in the market section, which isn't something you see very often. Did he try to boost a little too aggressively through the switchbacks?
He might have, yeah. Wasn't quite
I was looking at... I was distracted by Slide.
Same.
I just like seeing Slide Paramita.
Like, we've all seen Ben, like, countless times on Zaga, but Slide? Nah. This is
Ben
the first.
is, for good reason... no, this is not the first Zaga. Ben is, by a wide margin, and for good reason, the most picked pod in the tournament.
Whether that be actually choosing him or banning him.
Yes. Ben and Bullseye together make up exactly 2/3 of pod appearances.
Nice.
That was a solid third lap for Mystery Liquid. A 5:05 Zaga. Not incredible, but totally fine.
Yeah.
Oh, Mageius clipping the outside wall there. But yeah, it is always nice to see some of these underrepresented pods. I would love to see in the future races where we restrict people to specific tiers.
Oh god. That would be a very interesting journey.
Yeah.
Or
You can get a Bozzy Baranta versus Slide. I'm always up to see Bozzy. He's terrible, and I hate playing him, but his design is cool.
Yeah. He may just not crash right at the end.
The worst pod of the game has it's a subject of some debate. Bud Sang is terrible, Tinto's terrible, Juan Sandedge is terrible, Dud Bolt is pretty terrible. Probably? It'd probably be Fud Sang. Or, actually no, probably Sebulba. Weakest boost rest of the game.
it's probably pretty down there. Don't know why people bet on him.
Yeah, Ronnie, I'm kind of with you. I love the design of Bumpies. Endo Prime Centrum is the pick.
So just to recap here, Mageius actually banned Bullseye, and we do not have a temp ban for the track.
Okay, this track is one of my favorite design from a like aesthetic design in the game. I love the idea of just driving through an evacuated city.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They also put a substantial amount of effort into putting together the city for this.
Mm-hmm. Now there are some pretty tight turns.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully these two are prepared for that.
Everalert and Fuzzy, I believe you're both wrong there. Yeah, Sebulba is just first on a Bunta Classic, but Ben is just first on Inferno. I don't know if you have to get first on everything else to get Inferno, but I don't think so. Oh, Mystery Liquid pulling the Ben out on Ando Prime. He hasn't practiced this track.
Oh. Alright.
Now, Slide is also the track favorite here.
Maybe he's using that to his advantage.
Yep, and Mystery Liquid winding up in the slower line there. Both of them winding up in the slower line there, but it was a death for Mystery Liquid and not for Mageius. And Mageius, did you just what?
I'm pretty sure he has never played on this track. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, this is So Mystery Liquid is actually winding up in, I think, partially by accident, the second fastest line possible through the city. Yeah, he wound up taking the second fastest line. Mageius wound up on the absolute slowest.
Yeah, I have no idea where he's at.
I have never seen that portion of the track.
Looks pretty cool. Like you were saying, the level of detail they went into this.
They put a lot of effort into making this track into a maze. Honestly, we could do hide and seek on this track in multiplayer.
You're not wrong. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. But let's see, that is a 133 lap one for Mageius. That's,
That's a thinking face emoji.
Yeah. And Mr. Liquid just sticking consistently onto the slightly easier, slightly slower line. It's probably a very good choice.
Yeah, just trying to make sure he keeps Ben alive for those long boosts like he's doing now.
Maybe he has practiced this track. I didn't think he had.
He might also be warmed up after the first lap.
Yeah. I mean, he spent a decent amount of time playing today. But I mean, that was mostly practicing on that was mostly not even practicing, just grinding Scrapper's run.
Ah.
Yeah, and Mageius is clipping a wall there. But yeah, he knows, like, Mr. Liquid knows what to do on this track. Doing it is the hard part, but he knows what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not counting that as commentator's curse, by the way. Alright, and Mageius with a much faster lap, too. Yeah, solid 18 seconds faster.
Very good. Yeah, Mystery Liquid already getting very close to lapping Mageius in this one.
Yeah. Alright, and that is a 3:03.45 for Mystery Liquid. Oh, Mageius, that's a rough thing to clip. Let's see what line he takes through here this time. Opting for the low road again. Does he not know there's the higher route?
He might not.
Oh no, all I know is this is a really cool track segment. I wish it was faster.
That part's dangerous, though.
That was cool. Yeah. Like I said, though, this is one of my favorite track designs in the game. There's so much here that you don't see anywhere else. They put in a decent amount of effort creating assets for this track specifically that aren't on any of the others. And they don't like doing that. Every other track recycles from somewhere.
Mm-hmm. All right, 417. This is now match point for Mystery Liquid.
Alright. Now, why do I get the feeling Mageius is taking us to Bunta Classic?
That's... now you say that, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
That ought to be entertaining. Get your popcorn out, folks. If that's the case. Alright, so just to recap, we've been on Grabvine.
We started on Aqualaris Classic.
Aqualaris, went to Grabvine. What was the third one?
Zaga Challenge.
Zaga.
And then we just did Ando Prime Centrum.
Oh, so we've been to every circuit so far.
Yeah.
Alright, we're once again seeing no pod bans or temporary track bans.
Yep.
Ronnie, why?
You don't get to talk about that. You don't get to ask people why they're doing no upgrades Gasgano on hard tracks.
I know. But it's Bunta Classic, man.
I believe every track has been picked at least once, however I will double check that. Yes. Mageius was looking to put on a show that has a track that hasn't been shown in tournaments, which isn't a thing anymore.
Yep, we've done enough races at this point. Yes, I did no upgrade Gascon and Fireman Rally. It was for the beams. I regret nothing.
Yeah. I feel like you should regret many things.
Nah.
Come back, huh? Outlanders, they come here. How to...
Mage is going with an R60.
R80.
Oh, that was an 8?
Yeah. 80 is the one with the stick.
Oh, okay.
Mystery Liquid... Mageius deferred the pick to Mystery Liquid. And Mystery Liquid is taking us to Scrapper's Run.
Yeah. Alright. Hey, it's not Death Throws.
Yeah. Now, like I said earlier, this is probably Mystery Liquid's best track now. He probably won't get a sub 2, but it is totally possible.
Yeah,
And
I can see
Mageius-
him doing some good stuff here.
Yeah. Alright, and it is Ben, probably versus Bullseye, yes. Both players have been given the go. We are just waiting for them to jump in.
And they're off.
And Mageius instantly dies. Water's still wet, grass still green. Mystery Liquid, let's see how he does come into the death wall, and he does not make it. That's unfortunate. See how Mageius does onto it. I think I know what's going to come up. Mageius makes it!
Oh, very nice. Very clean.
And then dies again.
Almost. Almost very clean.
And Mystery Liquid dies on that turn. Come on, man. I called this your best track in the game.
Making a liar out of you.
Like, come on. But he is honestly looking pretty decent through this. Both of those deaths were in pretty tricky spots.
Yeah.
And Mageius is looking better on this track than he has on a lot of the others.
He's warming up.
Yep. Oh god, he almost missed the track on the landing.
That was monk
Mystery
ass.
Liquid grinds the death wall and lives.
Wow.
Monk ass. Like,
Oh, and it barely touches the wall there.
yes, error math. Players cannot just pick mirror mode if they choose. Both players have to agree, and both have to be playing on mirror mode. It hasn't come out once in tournaments, and I don't expect it to. But it is something that can happen within the rules.
The only one I could see that happening on is maybe Spice Mine.
Yes. Now, Mystery Liquid going through the last run at what Ace coined the Speedy Tube, and I've just been running with that.
Speedy too.
Yes, clean run at the death wall, and clean onto the bridge as well. See how he does going through here. No wall grinds. And no wall contact there either. This is a very clean lap 3 out of Mystery Liquid. I say as a Mageius dies. Yeah, 39.76. That's not bad.
Sub 40 lap. Very good.
And Mageius dies in the same spot a third time in a row.
That's Scrappers. Oh, baby.
Oh, we have Mystery Liquid joining us a little preemptively.
Hi.
Said go live.
Oh. Okay. Mageius wasn't done.
Oh, well. Alright.
He's currently still going for us.
Well, that's a thing. Yeah. He's just getting onto the bridge on lap 3. I say bridge as if it's not all floating in the sky, but
It looks like a bridge.
it's a suspension bridge.
Promontory.
You didn't even take the SATs, and you're using SAT words on us.
I took the SAT.
You did? Okay, I thought you didn't.
Yeah. No, it's the ACT I didn't take.
Okay. Anyway.
Ooh.
Oh, that's an unfortunate spot to die, and Mageius rounding it out with a 3:15.
All right.
Anyway. That was an interesting match.
It got exciting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You played Grabvine.
Yep.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the... Yeah, he threw me for the last 2 tracks. I literally forgot what track Zugga was. I had to load in and look around to remember.
Well, you did all right on it.
Yeah. I totally forgot about the giant tractors.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one that we played after that?
Ando Prime Centrum, which you actually took almost optimal lines on.
Did I? I had no idea how to play that track.
Yeah, the first lap was a little hairy, but after that, it looked pretty good after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just kind of guessing which routes to take based on half memories of watching someone play it.
Yeah, you took the second best line on the back end of it. Everything else was solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to showcase some of my favorite tracks in the game with that match, though.
Yeah.
Like
And
that and Grabvine are fantastic.
The Scrappers I picked, and oh baby.
Yeah.
That was not a great Scrappers, if I'm going to be honest.
No, I lost myself by 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby. I remembered how to do the first turn by the third time. It took me a couple times to remember what I was doing.
Discord.
But
Stop it.
yeah.
I have to showcase some of my favorite tracks.
Ronnie,
in the
we've
game
been
with that match,
trying.
though. Right.
Hello,
that and Grab One was
Mageius.
Fantastic. Hello, Mageius.
That
Yeah.
was not a great scrappers, if I'm going to be
On
honest.
the other side.
Beat me to it.
Discord.
Well, he's in here.
Thank
Yeah, Ever alert. That's my plan for my next submission. All tracks New Game Plus with skips.
Oh dear.
Could be exciting. How long does a full game take?
A little over 2 hours, probably, at my current level.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, God, yes, we can.
Howdy.
Oh,
Sorry. Hey, how's everything?
Good.
that was good. That was a fun match to watch. Let's go with explosive.
Yes.
Hey, I tried to do the best I could.
Oh, I'm not knocking either of you. I know it's a new game to both of you.
I figured out many, many new ways to die on every track.
Yeah.
That's good because you'll learn and then you'll
Yeah.
learn not
Which
to
is
do
bad.
them later.
I was just driving through and was like, huh, I have never
hear me
done
now?
that before. All right.
Sorry. As I said earlier, I just need to figure out a good spot with, just getting bullseye or slide dialed into that I can do that one. As you saw the difference between the two. Hey, I tried
Yeah.
to do the best I could.
Mhm.
The big thing is, like I've said, just settle on a controller and a control scheme and grind it.
I've got it. I'm trying to grind it and figure out exactly what I need to do as far as getting the tracks right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, you've both improved a lot over the course of this.
Yeah, it's definitely showing.
As I said earlier,
Thank you.
I just need to figure out a good spot with, just getting. Yeah, I can't believe I had an entire lap at least where I didn't die. Wait, did I die that one thing on Saga? I don't remember.
Yeah, you died every lap on Zaga.
Yeah, but I think one of them was like just one death.
Yeah. Well, to move on to another topic very quickly, we have pairings for round 5 available.
PogChamp.
Some of these are very interesting to see. We have Nacho playing Ronnie, which
Hey.
that'll be a pretty competitive one.
At least where I didn't die.
Coming for you, Ronnie.
That one thing on Saga? I don't remember.
Nectarn and Lightning Pirate will be dead even, I believe.
Yeah, but
Mystery Liquid playing Zelascalar. You two should be decent on that.
Huh. I don't think I've watched any of his.
Yeah, this... And then, to round out the 4 of us on the call, Mageius is playing David Stubbs.
Oof.
All
Yes.
right.
Mageius is playing one of the oldest legends of the game.
I don't know whether or not to feel happy or not.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, King Bean Gale is going to be a really good one.
Should be exciting.
Yeah.
Like, those guys are dead even.
And Dwight Guy has a lot of practice to do against Ace.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be a tough one for him.
I do think Metallica can push Mike. Looking over at that match really quick. But
I don't know whether or not to feel happy.
it'll be hard, but I do think Metallica can push it. Also, Mystery Liquid, we can see your Twitter right now. There we go.
Good.
Hey, there's always some
There it is.
amusement when it comes to live stuff.
Yeah.
But now we see the stream, and now we see the bracket. We've got some very good matches coming your way in the next few days, guys.
Oh, huh. Weird. Normally it doesn't do that when I alt tab. All right.
But with that, we should be wrapping it up here. It is almost midnight local time. We will be seeing all of you next time. Thanks to everyone for showing up.
GG.
GG, man. GG. Hey, there's always some amusement when it comes to live stuff.